Cleaning your wheels and your wheel wells of your Cayman 718. It's a good way to do a little bit inspections as well. We'll start with the rear, then we'll move on to the front. Okay, let's start by removing the lug nuts in the wheel. All right, now the wheel's been removed, it's a good time to inspect and check out your rotor, make sure it's not too worn. Check out your brake pads, they look pretty good. Check out all the connections. It's like a good amount of things, and just making sure everything's in there that's supposed to be there and all hooked up, and making sure everything's nice and tight. Then we'll go over to the wheel. I'm going to clean out the inside, and since it's winter around here in Oregon, I'm going to just do that on the workbench. I'm not going to use soap and water. I'm going to use good old Windex to start with. Now, Windex and a nice rag, get rid of a lot of this stuff. I'll show you a little bit of what I'm doing here. Just a good scrubbing, and then I'll go ahead and finish that up, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next to get rid of all these brake spots. There's lots of different areas that you can clean. All right, we'll take care of the Windex part first. All right, Windex does a pretty good preliminary job. Next thing to do is to get rid of a lot of these areas where the magnets, not magnets, but the weights that they use to balance the wheels, these are fine, of course. I'm going to leave those there, but this is an area in the past when they replaced the tire. There's one that's good, but up here there's quite a bit left, and it's nice to get rid of those because that's pretty unsightly. And then also down in here gives you information about your wheel, and this lets me know that these are BBS made in Germany. So those are the original style. These are the original rims. And then finally, I like to get rid of these. There's lots of these kind of dots. They're chunks that are from the brakes, I would imagine, that need to be cleaned off, and they don't come off just with the Windex, and so I scrape them off with a plastic tool so it doesn't scratch the finish. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I use Goo Gone, which works okay to get rid of some of this stickery type black stuff, and so I'll go over that a little bit later too. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by removing a lot of these areas, and then I'm going to use just a toothbrush and some Windex to clean off in this area. Center needs to be cleaned as well, and I clean off the inside here, but not a whole bunch. And then the finish looks pretty nice. This does have some scratches, but that's on the inside, but that's okay. That looks pretty good. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get started on that now. The Windex did a pretty good job. There's still a few of the stubborn stains, and to get those off, I'm going to use some carb cleaner, and it'll take care of the real nasty stuff that's on there. A little bit, and we'll get some of these big marks that are down in here. Comes right off. Yeah, As you can see, that takes care of that pretty good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the, so you can see the wheels looking pretty good in there. I still have some areas to clean, but there's quite a bit to clean yet. And I'll get to the tough part here pretty soon with these black stickers. I've finished using the Windex and the carb cleaner, and it's getting cleaner in here. Now to tackle these stickers that they use for the weights. I still have some weights here that I'll be leaving, of course, but getting off these stickers is a real pain. All right, so I'll get started on that. Now it's time to get rid of the unsightly stickers that are left behind by the weight material. This is from the previous weights that were installed with the previous tires. And so we'll go ahead and get started. What I do is put on some of this Goo Gone, and start with a layer of that. And then I'll be waiting about 5 minutes or so. Let that soak in and loosen it up a little bit. All right, the Goo Gone has been sitting there for about 5 minutes. And so what I'm gonna do next is take this plastic tool picked up at Harbor Freight, and I'm gonna be scraping a layer off of this. And so, and do that for about a minute or so. And then I'll show you the process after that is done. All right, I scraped on it for about a minute or so, and got lots of the residual stuff off of there. So I'm gonna wipe that off. Get that layer off of there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put on another coat of the Goo Gone. And then let it sit for another 5 minutes or so. Then I'll do some more scraping, and I'll show you after I've done the second scraping and wipe off. All right, I've scraped the second layer off and cleaned it off. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a third coat of the Goo Gone on and leave it for 5 minutes or so, and then I'll do some more scraping and let you see the results. All right, I just scraped off the third layer, and it looks like I'm getting closer, so I'm going to go ahead and do it again and let you know and show you what the process and how it went. All right, the fourth application seemed to have done a good job with getting rid of most of it, so I still have a little bit more to do, so I'm going to put another layer on there, wait just a couple minutes, and scrape off the rest, and it should be nice and clean. All right, finished up there. I took off the last coat of the Goo Gone, put a little bit of the carb cleaner on there to clean the Goo Gone off of there, so it's nice and clean and ready. So done with the inside of the wheel. So now I'm going to go ahead and focus on the nice shiny part on the outside. Once I wipe off the initial dust on here, I'll go ahead and clean up these areas of the wheel. They tend to get quite grimy. And I'll evaluate the condition of it, because these wheels are 7 years old, have 65,000 miles on them, and we'll look to see where they may need some paint repairs that would take place some other day. Now the rims look good from 10 feet. Once I get close, I can see areas that need a lot of attention. I'm going to do some cleaning here, and then when weather gets better and I can do some painting, I'm going to, clean up issues like this, do some, and paint the wheels, get them all redone. Looks like they need some work. This one's probably the best condition, but I'll get it cleaned off with some softer brushes and some Windex. I just like to use an old toothbrush or a softer, it's a nylon brush. It's a lot tougher than a toothbrush, but not nearly as abrasive as a metal brush. This will help. So I'll go ahead and clean those spots off, and we'll take a look at that, and then we'll finish things up. All right, the wheel's looking pretty good. Got the center cap in. I cleaned where the lug nuts go. Cleaned all the little crevices. Still have all the little dents here and there and scratches. I'll be taking care of those this summer. All right, so it's ready to go back on.